If I told you there's a creature in the ocean that strikes faster than a bullet and creates flashes of heat as hot as the sun's surface and can shatter tempered glass with a single strike, this isn't science fiction. This is the mantis shrimp. 400 million years. Try to imagine that span of time. No trees, no insects, no dinosaurs yet on Earth. And in the murky waters of that ancient ocean, a shadow already glides. Not just a crustacean, a living fossil. A hunter that doesn't chase its prey. It waits. Like a perfectly tuned machine refined by evolution to perfection. Write this down. 800 microscopics. That's how long it takes for its limb to accelerate to bullet speed. About 80 kilometers per hour. But it's not about the speed. It's about what happens to the water in that moment. When the strike cuts through water, pressure drops so violently that the liquid literally boils. Cavitation bubbles form. And then they collapse in a fraction of a second. At the point of collapse, temperatures spike to levels comparable to the surface of the sun. Yes, I misspoke, not inside the shrimp, around it, in the water. In 2001, Sheila Patek captured this on high-speed cameras. She put it simply, it doesn't just strike its prey, it detonates the space around it. There's a legend, a large specimen can shatter a centimeter-thick glass. True, not quite. Tempered glass holds, but ordinary aquarium glass. Yes, it's happened. And it's not muscle power, it's the shock wave. 2 strikes in one swing. First, physical contact. Then the water explodes. And if you're wondering right now, how doesn't it shatter its own club? But let's return to its armor, because strike power is only half the story. The other half is hidden in its eyes. Humans have 3 types of color receptors. We see red, green, blue. The mantis shrimp has 16. It sees ultraviolet, infrared spectrum, and also circular polarization of light, a phenomenon found in no other animal on Earth. Imagine a world where every living creature glows with its own unique spectrum, where water isn't just clear, it's threaded with patterns invisible to us, where a coral's shadow doesn't just cast darkness, but a whole palette of fading hues. Some scientists half-jokingly call it an underwater psychedelic rave, but in reality, it's a survival system. Evidence suggests its brain doesn't process color information centrally. It lets the periphery decide. No delays, no second-guessing. Sees motion strikes, it's not vision. It's instantaneous reaction built into the optics themselves. In 2012, engineers at UC set themselves a simple task: to understand how the smasher's limb withstands thousands of powerful strikes without cracking. Ordinary chitin should have crumbled, but it didn't. Turns out the club's structure isn't solid. It's a spiral. Patent nanofibers are arranged in a cross-ply architecture. Each layer is rotated relative to the one before it. An impact wave entering the armor doesn't travel straight. It dissipates. It weakens, it's absorbed, like sound in a soundproof room. There's a lab anecdote they tell at conferences. Engineers tried to crush the club with a hydraulic press. The press failed before the shell cracked. A joke with a grain of truth, because this very structure now inspires next-gen armor. For tanks, for sports, for helmets that save lives. Nature didn't invent steel, it invented architecture. And if you're thinking, so we just copy it? No, we learn. But let's step out of the lab and onto the shore. Because the mantis shrimp isn't just science. It's culture, and fear, and respect. In Japan, they call it shako, a delicacy, prized for its firm meat, its subtle sweetness. But chefs who've worked with it for decades know one simple truth. One careless move and a finger could be cut to the bone. So in a master's hands, always tongs, always distance, always respect. In Australia, they call it the thumb splitter. No euphemisms, no romance. And that might be the most honest name, because the mantis shrimp isn't vicious, it doesn't hunt people. But if you cross its boundaries, it will answer with what it's refined over hundreds of millions of years. I once saw a scene at Tokyo's fish market. An old master lifts it with long tongs. His hands don't shake. He knows inside this small body lies the power of a grenade. And one wrong touch could turn a culinary masterpiece into a workplace injury. He doesn't fight it. He dances with it. And in that dance lies the essence of our coexistence with nature. Now imagine, what if this power could not only be feared, but also cooked? So we've explored the strike, the vision, the armor, the history. But the ocean never stops surprising. The mantis shrimp is just one door in this corridor. In the next episode, we go further. I'll show you how engineers today create materials inspired by its armor, and why its eyes could become the basis for new medical sensors. And also, we'll talk about creatures that have learned to defend against its strikes. Yes, there are those who survive the collapsing bubbles, and their strategy, shall we say, is unconventional. If you're curious to explore this part of the underwater world, hit subscribe. Tell me in the comments what captivated you most: the strike physics, the vision, or the engineering solutions. I read every one. But for now, just imagine 400 million years, and it's still here. Perfect, patient, ready for the next strike. See you in the next episode.